Howdy fellas, Steven here with Sunrise W Land and Cattle. In the last video we talked about all the benefits of worm tea. Today we're going to talk about the science behind it. So you better buckle up because we're going to go into Biology 101. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are in the worm house today because again, this is where all the magic happens and we're going to utilize this whiteboard. So let's go ahead and zoom in and let's get to talking. So we are first going to start out with the 5 principles of soil health. Now I learned these principles from Gabe Brown in his book, Dirt to Soil, and once I read it, it changed how I approached the ranch completely. I will be quoting a lot from Gabe Brown today, so for more information, definitely check out his book. Fun fact for y'all. 95% of life on land lives in the soil. Scientists say that 90% of the planet's estimated 1 trillion microbial species have yet to be discovered. Now the first principle is armor the soil. Armor just means plant residue. If you plow a field and you don't put any seed into it, what happens to the ground? Well, of course, weeds will start to sprout. The ground wants to be covered. Bare dirt is so susceptible to nature. Wind, rain, which will cause a hard pan and erosion, heat and cold are all threats to bare soil. If the soil is left bare, all living organisms will die. The second principle is minimize soil disturbance. Now this includes mechanical and chemical. Just under the surface you have billions of aerobic organisms that require oxygen. Then deep under the soil you have anaerobic organisms that will die in the presence of oxygen. Every time you plow, you put the aerobic microbes deep into the ground and bring the anaerobic microbes to the surface, causing both to die. With all the microbes dead, you're required to put out synthetic fertilizer to grow the crop, which then puts you in an endless trap of required inputs. The third principle is build plant diversity. Different plants have different nutrient requirements, put different nutrients into the soil, and have a different type of root system. Everything with soil health is about balance, and a diversity of crops and grasses allows nature to create that balance to promote the growth of microorganisms. The fourth principle is keep living roots. Always keep living roots in the soil. The whole underground system revolves around it. Gabe Brown said it best, never miss an opportunity to convert solar energy into biological energy. The fifth principle is animal impact. Now I think this is the most important principle. Through this video series, we talked about all the benefits of cattle and chickens in regard to soil health. Without the cattle trampling seed, breaking up hard soil as they drag their feet and dropping manure, and then chickens spreading it out, the grass will not continue to grow and get thicker every year. Now to recap, we need to armor the soil, minimize soil disturbance, build plant diversity, keep living roots, and integrate animal impact. So with all this in mind, what is happening under our feet? So let's take a look at some tree roots and start with a few definitions. So we have the rhizosphere, which is the area in the soil that is affected by plant roots. We have fungi, and it is a symbiotic relationship with the plant. The plant provides carbon compounds as sugar to the fungi, and the fungi double or triple the plant's rhizosphere to bring in the minerals the plants need to thrive. And then there's bacteria, which are tiny one-celled organisms that are so numerous in healthy soils that there can be from 100 million to 1 billion bacteria per teaspoon of healthy soil. Bacteria per acre of healthy soil weighs the same as 2 cows grazing on that acre. Now there's protozoa and nematodes, and they're different, but both consume bacteria and other organic matter in the soil. So for this little quick discussion, we're going to put them in the same group. All right? So there's about 34,000 tons of nitrogen in the air above every acre of land. So why do farmers and gardeners apply nitrogen to their crop then? It is because the plant cannot use the free-form nitrogen in the air. So the nitrogen and other elements have to be put into a form that can be used by plants. You can do this in a factory and then spray it on, but the shock application could burn the plant if not applied correctly, or excess that is not needed by the plant can now run off and be wasted. Another way is to use nature, who has happened to have solved this problem hundreds of millions of years ago. The answer is microbes. So a plant in the ground is dependent on its root system to uptake all the elements and minerals it needs to survive and thrive. The fungi joins the plant's root and increases its rhizosphere by 2 to 3 times the area. So without any additional energy from the plant to grow more roots, it can pull from a much larger area by just giving up some sugars to the fungi. The fungi send out hyphae like a neural network through the soil to signal specialized bacteria to bring the minerals the plant needs to provide the sugars that the fungi wants. Bacteria are very adaptable to changing conditions. Because they are so small and their population can double in less than 30 minutes, they are critical to the adaptability of the soil. Additionally, the hyphae provide avenues from water to soak into the ground for future use, so the fungi also help with much more efficient water usage in climates with periodically rainy seasons. And then the protozoa and the nematodes, they hang out in that rhizosphere and eat the bacteria and convert the nitrogen and other elements that they secrete after eating the bacteria into a form that is available to plants. Basically, the plants can get the nutrients they need when needed instead of being dumped on them a couple times a year. Additionally, this ecosystem builds upon itself year over year. So after a few years, if you follow the 5 rules of soil health, then the nature will continue to build the ecosystem and improve the yield of your land. So worm tea has all this bacteria, the protozoa, the nematodes, and that's why it's so beneficial to put out into your yard, garden, or pasture. Now this concludes all the videos and the video series. We really hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all for watching and liking it. Now we're going to continue to make videos just showing kind of what we do throughout the day. So make sure you like it. Make sure you keep following us to see more of what we're doing. If you have any recommendations, we'll be happy to make another one to teach y'all a little bit more about what Sunrise W Land and Cattle is. Thank y'all very much, and we'll see y'all next time.